Kayode. Good morning to our dear listeners out there. How you doing,
I'm
Kayode?
awesome. And
Nice.
also we have
Oluwafemi,
Oluwafemi, yes,
yes,
from Afri
Oluwafemi,
Invest.
yes, from Afri Invest. Oluwafemi is our brand new voice from Afri Invest. Oluwafemi, good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Rotus. Good morning, Kayode. It's nice to be here with you.
Excellent,
Yes, good to
excellent,
have you.
excellent. Yes, indeed.
Lagos, you know what to do. Reach out to us on 0809 and that's where you can send your WhatsApp messages to on Twitter we're at smooth981FM with the hashtag Business Express 981.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, equity markets yesterday, 0.1% in the positive region, closed at 29,318 points, which is good. We're positive. Airtel did list yesterday. I believe it gained 10%. There's only about seven trades that crossed yesterday for Airtel. I think they were valued at about almost 40 million naira. The listing did happen a little late in the day. I think it happened at about 2:18 p.m. is what Business Day is saying here. I think it was a similar thing with MTN. MTN listed, I think they came on board about 1:45 p.m. and the market closes at 2:30. So it was a little late, but they successfully listed all 3.7 billion of their shares. Share price was at 363. I think it rose to 399. So that's where Airtel closed that. So that was pretty much the big news yesterday on the stock exchange. So the Airtel listing finally happened. Now, each of my guests, I've asked them for recommendations, but everybody's being cautious right now. Oluwafemi, no recommendation from Afri Invest
Yeah,
yet.
really, we're still looking at a couple of factors, especially considering what happened to MTN upon listing.
Right.
There was some sort of rally in MTN when it initially came, and
Mm-hmm.
then we saw MTN going down the drain
Right.
a couple of days after. So we're still taking our time to check the metrics and see before we make a recommendation on the stock.
Okay, cool. Speaking of our WhatsApp, there's a video we have on there. You guys should check it out. It's so there was some news that broke. I believe it was yesterday. There was a ship that was found with about $1.3 billion worth of cocaine, according to Zero Hedge, which is a finance website. They're saying that the ship actually belongs to J.P. Morgan, which is funny. We were talking about it this morning, yeah, which belongs to J.P. Morgan. Something very interesting though. The video we have on our WhatsApp and also on our Twitter page is from Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance was looking at the production and exports of cocaine around the world coming from Colombia.
Okay.
Apparently, the reason why it increased, there was like a record increase in 2017, was because, and you'll see it in the video, so go ahead and watch it. Apparently, Colombia did extra land cultivation, about a 17% increase in land cultivation in Colombia led to the increase in exports of that particular plant, yeah,
Yeah.
because they increased it. Now,
Okay.
if we link this to agriculture, Nonso Obikili, who's been a guest on this show, an economist has been a guest on the show, was writing about how we need more land space for livestock in Nigeria. Because he gave a few statistics that if you compare the amount of space that the U.S. allocates to their farmland and raising of livestock there, if you take that metric, I can't remember what the figures were. I think it would be about 63% of the land space in Nigeria. So essentially, we don't have enough land space.
Isn't that what the government wanted to do with
Right.
Aruga
But
settlement?
but that's the thing. That's why they kind of scrapped that because that wasn't essentially going to work. In fact, the amount of power you need, the amount of other things that you need for those for the livestock to actually be bred properly, if they're going to be staying in enclosures, was too much. It was just going to be too expensive. But I thought it was really interesting how important it is for you to continue to do land cultivation for your exos. Now, of course, this is still an illegal narcotic. Just want to put that out there. But it's
Yes.
a very interesting. Femi, any thoughts on that
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the news?
So, um, the livestock, section contributes about 10% to the manufacturing GDP, the agricultural GDP rather,
Right.
of Nigeria, and so it would make so much sense for us to have a definite plan concerning creating more lands
Mm.
for grazing for cattle, considering the fact that we have about 20 million and then the US is doing about 7.23 acres,
Right.
million acres rather,
Uh-huh.
per livestock.
Right.
So we would really need an expanse of land. And this is not even considering the amount of land that we need to produce crops for these, cattle to feed.
Right.
If we are going to be looking at that, beyond the 63% you said the other time, we are going to need an extra 20%. So really, this is a land issue, and it's
Mm.
something the government really has to
To
deal
address.
with.
I think let's take it from Cameroon. Let's seize it. We give them Bakassi, yeah? Let's seize it
If
from
only we
Cameroon.
could.
All right, so we didn't get your messages yesterday, and I promised that we would address some of your messages that because we had some issues with our WhatsApp feed, but I think we fixed that now. So Benga Kamu sent this in. We're saying the second part of the year may be like the first, still in the wilderness. How good that will be for our economy, we will see. So Femi, let's use that. Also get your thoughts as far as Afri Invest is concerned. Your outlook for the second half of the year. Where are you guys sitting on that?
Okay, so recently we did a review of the first half of 2019, and then we had an outlook for the second half of 2019. And what we observed largely is the economy in the first half has been a little slow,
Mm,
and that is basically what informed the title of our report, The Next Wave of Inertia, Better Safe Than Sorry.
mm,
And that was as a result of the fact that we saw that the needed structural reforms, the human capital investments that really need Nigeria, we didn't see it in the first half of 2019. And then we are really hoping that considering the developments that we have seen in especially global space, and then the African countries, the
yes.
signing of the AFTA, the easing global trade tensions from the G20 summits, we're really hoping that the second half is going to be better. Well, taking a dip into the equities market, we
Right.
saw about an 8 trillion capital inflows from foreign
8
investors.
billion.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
8 billion.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, if,
Um,
8 trillion would be
yeah,
wonderful.
that would that would really be a lot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we saw about an 8 billion US dollars, capital inflows
Mm,
from investors, and about 70% of this was in form of foreign portfolio investment,
right.
and very very little of it went into the equities market. And this tells you what investors are saying about the macroeconomic conditions.
Mm,
What people are doing rather is to put their money in safe investments, fixed income. We have seen a lot of money, a lot of capital flows into the fixed income space in
okay.
treasury bill section and the
Okay.
bond section. And what we are looking out to is considering the fact that we still have almost the same rate of growth in the first half as in the second half. Our outlook basically is that we are going to continue to have more inflows into the fixed income space.
Mm,
And one of such reasons is if you look at the inflation data we have, inflation has been on the rise,
yes.
recently from 11.37% to about 11.4%. And
Yes, yes.
we are projecting that we might have, more uptick in the inflation data.
Mm,
The yields on treasury bills are currently, giving negative real returns, and for the government to compensate investors, the yields on treasury bills you have to be higher,
mm.
and then that will bolster a favorable carry trade environment for foreign investors.
And just to help out our listeners, you're saying the yield on treasury bills is negative. Just to help them out, that means that inflation is higher than
Higher than than
what
the
treasury
yields that
bills
we have,
are
right?
they're bringing out.
Exactly.
Interesting. Thanks for that. Okay, Fred is suggesting here that we take the land from Benin, the next door, since they've been smuggling rice in here. Fred, I don't know. We're not calling for. I was joking though.
Once
But
again, if
I
only we
think Fred
could.
is joking as well. I think Fred is joking as well. Okay, but his suggestions on how we cultivate more land for livestock. We're not taking any land from any other countries, but Fred is saying maybe Benin. All right. We had another question comment here. I believe this was from Richard. Good morning. Please have your guest talk about the implications of Nigeria signing the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Femi, you want to take that one as well?
Yeah, yeah. So this is really a very interesting one. The free trade agreement we're looking at here is a potential market of about 1.2 billion people, and a GDP size of $3 trillion, $3 trillion that we're
Mm,
seeing here. Just to move straight to the implications of this, of course, structural reforms like this and economic reforms like this usually have their pros and cons,
mm,
right? And so while we understand the fact that the labor and manufacturing unions have been weary of the fact that there might be job losses, reduction in income, we believe that the long-term benefits of this trade agreement far outweigh the short-term pains that we are seeing, because
okay.
we are looking at easing trade barriers here. There's going to be a gross reduction in tariffs, and then that would make Nigerian manufacturers to export more cheaply to other African countries. And besides that, the current manufacturers in Nigeria are going to have more access to bigger markets as a result of this, and we might see more FDI inflows into the country, which will give us the stable exchanges we have been clamoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
good. So you have a positive outlook on it.
Yeah, we have a positive outlook on the after signing.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, let's see now. Yinka is asking about the. Okay, this was from Mr. Is it Mr. Kayode about the fixing refineries. Rotus, what's your take on this recurring decimal called fixing a refinery? I remember BRU making similar promises, and now, yes, Kiari. Look, and he said he was going to fix the refineries before the second term of the president is 2023. But I believe Mr. Kachiku, who is, I bet we don't have a new minister yet.
No,
Yeah, we're still working that out. He said it was $1.2 billion, I believe he said, is the cost of fixing those refineries. Femi, if Yinka, thanks for your question. If they were going to fix these refineries, they would have fixed them by now. I mean, this is administration after administration. Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, Yaradua, Buhari now. The money just doesn't seem to be there. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we keep seeing with the recurring discussion with the refineries is that for foreign investments to come into Nigeria, for anybody to put money behind fixing those refineries, they would have to remove the cap on top of PMS prices, right? So if Kayode is going to, Kayode, are you going to give us the 1.2 billion that we need to fix the refineries? If only you could, but if Kayode is going to bring that money in here, right? He has to get a return. So we have to raise fuel prices. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. That's one thing that we really have to consider: the raising of fuel prices to encourage the much needed money that we need to invest in these refineries to make them better. Yeah, that's a very good thought on that.
All right, Yinka, thanks for that. Okay, then we got this one also yesterday. Audrey says, does the ECO mean we would forego the naira? I think the ECO is referring to the ECOWAS single currency.
Yeah,
I think the answer is yes. I mean,
definitely,
if we're to, yeah,
that's it's economic integration we're talking about here, and there are different stages to it.
Yeah.
The highest stage being what we see here, the monetary union, which is what basically happens when countries in that union forego their own currency and then take up a different currency entirely. It could be a currency of one of the existing countries that we have, or an entirely different currency. And then what we will probably also see here is the fact that there might be some sort of dilution in the powers of the current monetary authorities that we have around the world. I mean, we for this ECO now, we've seen the fact that there was an establishment of the West African Monetary Institute in 2001, and then we might have some other bodies that would have to take, an oversight control of the economies.
That would be part of it.
That would be part of the.
But realistically, you think the ECO is going to happen in 2020? Everybody's saying no; they don't think it will take place.
Well, 2020 seems to be a big deal. I mean, there are some prerequisites that we have in this agreement. So there are about 6 secondary criteria and then about 4. And the one that really strikes me the most, specifically for Nigeria, is the fact that there has to be a single-digit annual rate of inflation.
Inflation,
exactly. Not there at all. We have seen the CBN, trying to ease the economy, the 60% LDR for banks.
Right.
Telling microfinance banks to have 64. All these things we're seeing are easing economies, and that's basically gives an offshoot for inflation to rise. So
we'll see. We'll be here in 6 months. Don't worry. Benga Kamo says, please sell off the refineries. I'm tired of hearing about this turnaround maintenance. Benga wants them to just sell them off. All right. We've also got optimistic, but Kayode is giving me the air traffic control signals. Musa, Olufemi, Abiola, Jay. I see your messages. Sorry, didn't get to them. Rewan. We'll try and get to them tomorrow. Olufemi of Afri Invest, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to have you again in the near future. Yeah. Thank you all, everybody. Thanks for your messages. We'll continue. I'm still fighting for 30 minutes. I'm still working on it. Still talking to management.
Hopefully it'll happen.
One day, yeah. Maybe we won't test it out one day. We'll remove that your news brief. You do at 6:30 and just do 30 minutes.
I'm not sure that's gonna happen. But we'll see.
All right. Thanks, everybody. The time flies. The time.